The story of the Hitman 2 Silent Assassin starts with a mysterious conversation between two men about some secret project of improved versions of humans. One of those guys is a brother of a subject that was cloned during the project. Next we see two men entering a house that is a crime scene and they check the monitoring to see what happened. Tapes show Hitman killing everyone, and one of the men recognizes him as Mr. 47. He also admits that he had met him once in Rotterdam, but now he hasn't been seen for a long time. The other guy with a Russian accent wants to find 47 and make him his hitman. Turns out Agent 47 is actually on Sicily, where he just lives a normal life. At one point he decides to confess his sins to priest he is working for. He reveals what he was doing before he came to Sicily and asks for forgiveness. Priest tells him to have faith and the Lord will guide him. Few minutes later, two armed men show up, kidnap the priest, and leave a message for 47. It's one of those offers you can't refuse from a local mafia. They want $500,000 ransom for the priest. 47 can't pay that much, so he shakes the dust of his guns and contacts the agency. He gets in touch with Diana, who is happy to hear from him and has a line of customers waiting for his services, but 47 wants some info about Giuseppe Giuliani, the boss of the local mafia. Diana is like, yeah, okay, but what's in it for me? And she offers 47 help with getting the necessary info about Giuliani's mansion and security, but in return, she wants 47 to take one single assignment. He agrees. Mansion is well protected and 47 must act quietly because if Don Giuliani gets alarmed, he will kill the priest. Assassin takes one of the guards and uses his clothes to get onto the property. Then he sneaks into the room upstairs and gets the key to the basement, where he believes his friend is held. But turns out, priest is not in the basement. Diana confirms through the satellite footage she sees that he was dragged out by bearded Russian-looking types in uniform. Diana tells 47 that she lost the track of Father Vittorio in the airport, but anyway, the agency did their part, so now it's your turn. 47 is sent to St. Petersburg to take down an ex-KGB officer. He picks up a weapon left by the agency in the locker. Then he takes sewers to get close to the building where the target is having a meeting. He steals a military uniform from one of the soldiers, as the whole area is protected by army and civilians are not allowed. Then he takes his spot on the opposite building and takes down the target. He leaves the place and gets back on the train. Soon Diana reaches 47 and offers more jobs. He agrees, but he wants agency to triple his usual stake, because now he really needs to gather some money to find Father Vittorino. Another job also takes place in St. Petersburg. After the last assassination, other generals panicked and started to investigate. This time 47 needs to hit General Makarov and his mafia contact Igor Kubasco. He takes a sniper rifle, uses sewers to move around the area and takes his spot on high radio tower. He kills them while they're having a meeting with a nice clean shot. But there are two more generals to deal with. One of them is interrogating the prisoner in the basement of a military base. So this time 47 needs to sneak into the transport vehicle that takes him inside the facility. While there, he just takes an elevator to the basement, switches the uniform to a higher ranked officer, then finds the mirror room next to the interrogation room and shoots the general through the glass. Turns out the prisoner is other agency member, Agent Smith. He has this key he's stolen from a drunk guard earlier, so they can exit the facility quite easy. At the end, Smith wanna shake hands, but 47 kinda ignores him. The last general is in the German embassy, requesting asylum in Germany. Diana tells 47 about the upcoming party in the embassy that makes a perfect cover for Agent 47, but since he has no invitation, he must break through a backyard door. While in the building, he silently chokes the general. He also needs to find a suitcase that contains a valuable guiding system. It's in the ambassador's safe, but luckily for 47, a Specna's agent is also at the party and he makes ambassador to open the safe. So 47 just follows them and ambushes the Russian agent, while he forces the ambassador to open the lock. After escaping, 47 opens the suitcase and finds money inside. So The trade of the guiding system has already been made, but it looks like the money came from Japan. Soon Diana contacts with a contract for Masahiro Hayamoto, a Japan arms dealer. Agency don't have any intel about the current place where Hayamoto might be, but what they know is that his son has a business meeting with a leader of Yakuza. 47 sneaks through the security and stunts one of the kitchen workers to steal his clothes. Then he poisons the fish that is supposed to be served to Hayamoto Jr. and puts a tracking device inside. Agency counts that when he dies, his corpse would be taken to his father, and with the tracking device inside, they will target his location. And that's exactly what happened. Hayamoto is in one of his castles in northern Japan. The castle is super protected, but there is a secret passage, so 47 must find it. Covered by shadow of the night, he sneaks through security guard and steals his uniform. Then jumps on truck and gets to the secret gate. Then he finds a power supply and turns it off to sabotage alarm systems. That way he can infiltrate the castle. And there he meets an old friend from the first part, the working girl he saved in one of the missions in Hong Kong. And if you don't know what happened in the first part of the game and you want to recap, just watch my other video with Hitman Agent 47 explained. Well, it looks like she still does what she does, but she wants to escape again and gives 47 the key to the Hayamoto's room. Dressed as one of castle ninja guards and with a key able to open the right door, 47 easily gets to Hayamoto's bedroom and takes him down, then escapes through the window. Now Diana sends 47 to Malaysia, where he must find a hacker that has stolen the software that works as a key signature for the military software that belonged to the US Army. If it gets to the wrong hands, it can be used to launch missiles that would be detected as American, and the missile shields won't stop them. Agent needs to get to the basement of the building where the hacker operates. He triggers a fire alarm, and while firemen show up, he steals one of the uniforms and takes advantage of the chaos in the building to get to the basement. There he finds Charlie and kills him. 47 reports to Diana that he thinks that Charlie has a twin brother as he sees him on a monitor in the other part of the building. 47 goes back to the offices and finds a computer that he places a bug on. This device will open the network for outside computers, so the agency can search it. Clara from the agency contacts and says that Diana is not available right now, but he must take the sky bridge to the other tower. Meanwhile, we see a conversation between a Russian accent guy and his hacker that informs him that the codes have already been passed to India, and that makes the Russian accent guy furious as it appears he got scammed by his own client. Diana contacted 47 and confirmed that Charlie actually has a twin brother, and this guy is at his penthouse having a nice time in a jacuzzi. So with the usual tactic, Hitman steals his guard's uniform, takes down the alarm and does the job. Next, Diana sends 47 on a mission to regain a valuable cargo that was stolen by some Middle East terrorists. First, he needs to get to Lieutenant Ahmed Sahir, who possesses a map pointing to the cargo. Well, this officer tends to have his day nap at his palace, so dressed as one of the Sahir soldiers, 47 sneaks into the building and finds his bedroom, where he ambushes and kills the target. After that, he is ordered to go search for a local Khan, who is currently trying to sell the cargo that belongs to agency client to United Nations. Khan Malik must be eliminated before he gets to the trading location with his limo. He picks up a heavy rifle from his contact and carefully takes a sniper spot on the roof. He needs to take a shot from a very long distance, but with a perfect aiming, he does the job and prevents the trade. Now the cargo is taken to the base run by Lieutenant Hussain, and 47 also gets contract to kill this guy. He kills the guard and opens the door with a stolen key. Then he goes underground, where he finds and chokes Hussein. He looks for the cargo and finds it next to the elevator, so he uses it to take it to the surface. Then he takes down a few guards outside the base so that the chopper can land and take the cargo. But soon it turns out that the crew of the chopper was ambushed earlier by members of some cult, and actually they are the ones who took the cargo. So now Diana wants 47 to go after the cult. She informs 47 that there might be a very powerful foe somewhere close to the cult leader. 47 gets in touch with his contact. He gives him intel about cult leaders. He reveals that it seems like the cult is expecting the assassination. The leaders are two brothers from northern provinces. They know about 47, but they don't really believe he exists. So first 47 must clean the area from cult snipers hunting for possible assassins. Then he is guided to the secret entrance of the cult facility. First he searches for the cult's physician and main protagonist, because the cult leader himself is somewhere else on a hospital island. Dr. von Kamprand is located on one of the top floors. Dressed as one of the guards, 47 gets into the building and then he steals the doctor's uniform to gain further access. Von Kamprand thinks he is the new doctor that came to perform a kidney operation, so she is taken down easily in her own office. Cult leader expects heart surgery on the hospital island. As usual, 47 kills one of the coast guards and uses the uniform to sneak in. Then he steals doctor's uniform and gets access to the higher floors of the hospital. He picks up a scalpel and finds cult leader waiting for the operation, so he quietly kills him and sneaks out on the boat that waits on the beach. But due to the killings on the island, the whole case goes public. Turns out that the chopper is owned by Sergei Zavorodko. He is behind all the contracts, and those were people who knew too much about these missile launchers, or they tried to steal them from Zavorodko. He is really angry about the media leak, and the other man in the room points out that that might have been 47's job. Zavorodko decides Hitman must be killed, and the other guy says he knows who can they use to deal with Agent 47. Meanwhile, Diana contacts 47 and gives him a contract for Zavorodko since United Nations wants him out of the business. 47 is sent to St. Petersburg. It seems like an easy job since it's the same building that he already worked in the early missions. But when he reaches the Zavorodko's office, he finds a man and kills him. But it turns out it's one of his brothers, Agent 17. 47 picks up his headphones and hears Zavorodko's voice asking did he catch the bait. So Hitman and Sergei have a little chit-chat and turns out he has Father Vittorio. So this whole job was actually just a setup to get rid of 47. Hitman escapes from the building and goes after Zavorodko. He is hiding in an old church protected by more assassin clones. After a lot of fire-crossing with his so-called brothers, Hitman corners Zavorodko and gets him angry enough to reach for a gun and try to take 47 down. And you probably already know that this is going to end with one of those white background scenes. But unfortunately, Father Vittorio is dying. He says goodbye to 47 and Hitman leaves the place before the police shows up. Now he knows that everyone betrayed him and he can't trust no one. He decides to rely only on his instincts and realizes he won't find peace, so he begins his journey for justice. And that's how the game ends.